In the fast-moving world of popular music, some artists shine brightly for a single year before fading from the spotlight. In this video, we'll look at 8 artists that had one dominant year and disappeared. Natala Rose. In 2015, Dutch singer Natala Rose became one of the most talked about newcomers in pop and R&B. Her debut single Somebody featuring Jeremiah was an undeniable smash, peaking at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and dominating radio throughout the year. The song had that 2015 club sound, making it a favorite at parties and on top 40 playlists. With this massive success, she looked ready to be the next big crossover star. Following Somebody, Natala released Around the World featuring Fetty Wop, hoping to capitalize on her breakthrough. The single, however, failed to replicate the same success, peaking outside of the top 40. Despite promotional performances on major stages like the BET Awards and opening for Fifth Harmony on tour, momentum quickly stalled. The lack of a full debut album also left fans with little material to connect with, causing her hype to fizzle out by the end of the year. After 2015, Natala Rose's presence in mainstream pop virtually disappeared. She quietly parted ways with her label and shifted her focus towards international markets. After a long break, she released new music in 2022, even though it never went nowhere. Her latest single came in 2024, but Somebody's success ensures she remains part of the conversation when discussing one-year wonders of the decade. Fetty Wop. In 2015, Fetty Wop was unstoppable, dropping banger after banger. His breakout single Trap Queen slowly climbed up the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 2 and introducing his melodic sing-song rap style to the world. The momentum built from there. He followed up with 679, My Way and Again, all of which climbed into the top 10, making him one of the few rappers in history to land multiple simultaneous hits from the debut project. His self-titled debut album entered at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 129,000 units in his first week, which led to him being named the biggest new artist of the year on Billboard. Culturally, Fetty Wap felt inescapable. His catchy hooks and unique delivery defined the summer. His rise seemed destined for long-term superstardom. By the end of 2015, he had multiple platinum singles and was performing at every major award show, even opening up for Taylor Swift. But after his massive debut year, Fetty Wap struggled to maintain momentum. His follow-up singles failed to replicate the success of his early hits, and label disputes stopped him from releasing new music. The industry shifted to trap with darker notes, leaving Fetty's melodic sound out of style. By the late 2010s, his chart presence had faded, and despite attempts at a comeback, including a 2021 album, he never regained his dominance. Today, Fetty Wap is remembered as one of the most iconic one-year wonders of the 2010s. His debut era is nostalgic now, but his career seems to be over after being sentenced to 6 years in prison for drug trafficking. IYAZ. IYAZ broke through in 2010 with Replay, a Caribbean-infused pop hit that became a worldwide phenomenon. The song climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and top charts internationally. Its infectious hook made it a staple on radio, launching IYAZ to superstardom almost overnight. Following the success of Replay, he released Solo and So Big, both of which found moderate success and kept his name buzzing throughout the year. They were also marketing him to the Disney audience, even being featured on Hannah Montana on the track Gonna Get This, further pushing him into the pop mainstream. That same year, he dropped his debut album Replay, which performed modestly but failed to match the staying power of his lead single. In 2010, it seemed IYAZ had all the makings of a lasting artist. He scored 3 top 40 singles in the year. However, his career quickly stalled. The singles that followed lacked the same crossover appeal, and as the pop market shifted towards EDM and electropop in the early 2010s, his tropical sound fell out of fashion. His label eventually dropped him, and he faded from the US charts entirely, not charting a single song on the Billboard Hot 100 since then. Though he continued to release music, he never got back to the level of his breakout year. Today, IYAZ is remembered largely for Replay, a song that has become something of a nostalgic throwback. Vanessa Carlton. Vanessa Carlton became a household name seemingly overnight in 2002 with the release of her debut single 1,000 Miles. The piano-driven ballad was everywhere. It peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and earned 3 Grammy nominations, cementing her as one of the most promising new pop singer-songwriters of the early 2000s. That same year, her debut album Be Not Nobody was released, earning platinum certification and solidifying her reputation as a serious musician. The second single, Ordinary Day, also did well, peaking at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100. The third single, Pretty Baby, failed to make a major impact, not even charting on the Hot 100. By the end of 2002, she had achieved peak visibility and was fading from the mainstream. In the years following her breakout, she continued to release music, but shifted away from the commercial spotlight. Albums like Harmonium in 2004 and Heroes and Thieves in 2007 got her a niche fan base, but were far from her mainstream dominance. White Horse was the only song to chart, peaking at number 86 on the Hot 100. While she never replicated the huge success of 1,000 Miles, she reinvented herself as an indie artist. Today, Vanessa Carlton is remembered as a quintessential example of an artist who had one big year, but found her true voice outside of the commercial system. 1,000 Miles remains a timeless classic and is the reason she will never be forgotten. Nina Sky. In 2004, twin sisters Nicole and Natalie Albino, better known as Nina Sky, stormed the charts with their irresistible hit Move Your Body. The song, with its infectious blend of R&B and dancehall, quickly climbed into the Billboard Hot 100's top 5, becoming a summer anthem. The duo's self-titled debut followed, and their fresh sound positioned them as potential long-term stars in the mid-2000s pop landscape. However, their momentum faded almost immediately after their breakout success. While Move Your Body was everywhere, their follow-up single Turning Me On didn't do as well. By late 2004, the hype had cooled, and without another smash hit to sustain them, they began to slip from the mainstream radar. Dancehall-infused pop was kind of a trend at the time, but when the sound faded, they faded. Despite their commercial struggles, Nina Sky remained active for years. They released independent projects in the 2010s, but none gained the same level of attention as their 2004 breakthrough. Their last new music release came back in 2016. Today, Nina Sky's legacy is tied closely to Move Your Body, a song that still pops up on nostalgic playlists and throwback DJ sets. Jay Holiday. In 2007, Jay Holiday seemed destined to become one of R&B's defining voices. His debut single Bed became an undeniable smash, climbing to number 1 on the Hot 100 and topping the R&B hip-hop songs chart for 5 weeks. The song became a slow jam staple, while his debut album Back of My Lack debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200 and went on to be certified gold. The success positioned him as a fresh new face in the genre, in the era of Usher and Neo. However, despite the breakthrough, Jay Holiday struggled to build on the momentum. His follow-up single Suffocate performed well, peaking at number 18, but the following singles didn't do much on the charts. By the time his second album Round 2 was released in 2009, the buzz had fizzled out. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200, but lacked a hit single, with none of the songs managing to chart on the Hot 100. Jay Holiday's career after 2007 became defined by releases here and there. Albums like Guilty Conscious in 2014 and Time in 2022 received minimal promotion and didn't chart anywhere. Though he maintained a nostalgic fanbase, he carved out a niche as a touring act, performing for fans who still liked his mid-2000s catalog. Today, he is remembered as the man behind one of the greatest R&B singles of the 2000s. Chelle Rae. If you turned on the radio in 2011, chances are you wouldn't escape Chelle Rae. The Nashville-based pop rock band exploded with their single Tonight Tonight, which peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 3 million copies in the US alone. Its catchy chorus and carefree energy captured the spirit of early 2010s party anthems, while their album Whatever produced another hit, I Like It Like That, featuring New Boys. For a brief moment, Chelle Rae were everywhere, from award shows to teen magazines, marketed as the next big pop rock crossover act. At a time when bands like Maroon 5 were dominating the charts, they found their lane. Their music was upbeat, radio-friendly, and perfect for high school dances and summer playlists. 2011 was truly their year, with Tonight Tonight becoming one of the year's biggest singles, and the follow-up becoming a decent hit. But just as quickly as they arrived, their momentum slowed. Follow-up singles failed to replicate the success of Tonight Tonight, and by 2013, the band had largely disappeared from mainstream radio. Plans for their third studio album stalled, and eventually, the group went on a hiatus. Chelle Rae did reunite in 2019 and even released new music in 2020 with the Tangerine EP, but the comeback didn't have the same impact. While they remain a nostalgic favorite for fans of early 2010s pop, their career is a textbook case of a band dominating 1 year before slipping into obscurity. They will forever be remembered as the band that gave us Tonight Tonight, a 1-year phenomenon frozen in 2011. Tweet. Tweet, born Charlene Keys, emerged in 2002 as one of R&B's promising new voices. Her debut single, Oops Oh My, produced by Timbaland and featuring Missy Elliott, was a massive hit, peaking at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song really fit that radio era dominated by Virginia legends like Timbaland and Pharrell, blowing up in an era dominated by artists like Ashanti and Alicia Keys. Her debut album, Southern Hummingbird, was released the same year, debuting at number 3 on the Billboard 200, cementing her as one of the genre's brightest new stars. The success of Oops Oh My and the strong debut album had critics and fans predicting longevity for Tweet's career. However, follow-up singles like Call Me, which peaked at number 31, and Smoking Cigarettes, which missed the charts altogether, failed to replicate the commercial impact of her debut. By the end of 2002, her visibility began to fade. Tweet attempted a comeback with her 2005 album It's Me Again, but despite critical praise, the project underperformed commercially. Label issues and changing industry trends further stalled her career, leaving her without the major push she needed. Years later, she signed with smaller labels and released Charlene in 2016, which is still her latest project. Despite never matching her 2002 dominance, Tweet remains respected in R&B circles, but her time in the spotlight was short. Which artist that had one dominant year and disappeared did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.